Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Vault Hunters. As always, I am Dor, and today we are going to actually unlock and build the void table. So I was able to stream a little bit. We got the diamonds we needed to be able to craft up the knowledge stars here. So we're going to need, I believe, 9 knowledge stars for the table here. We do indeed. So let's go into our vault loot here, which we are indeed already in. We have 2 star cores in our main storage. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's move all of our vault diamonds and star essence into the main drive so that we can just craft it from there instead of having to move things around. But this is all the loot that we have gotten so far from the streams. So we've had a fairly good run. We've gotten 51 opal again. So hopefully we get lucky with the rolls on that to get the Omega Pog worth of opal from it. That would be really cool. And since we already have 2 star cores, we only need 7 of the diamond blocks. So there's that. We're also going to just turn all of, we're going to turn all of the star essence into these shards. I don't think star essence is used for anything else, I'm pretty sure, so that should be fine. And there we go. Cool. All right, so let's consume all 9 of those, and we can pick up the table. We have the stone. We have everything else ready to go as well, so let's do that. And to start off with, we only have 9 slots, so this is going to void those items as they come into our inventory while we're in vault runs, which is cool. And I believe the maximum is only going to be 1,000 items, which I kind of feel, or 1,026 items, which I kind of feel isn't enough items. I could be wrong. That's probably enough to void everything that we're going to come across, but at the moment we don't have enough diamonds to craft everything, and we also don't have the Omega Pog just yet. So we are going to need one of these. We have to carry this with us in our inventory or it won't work. So that's pretty straightforward. We're going to need 4 more opals, 4 more echo gems, and a scavenger crate. So I guess we can just use this one. Let's see what we got from that scavenger run. We got a lot of useful stuff. That's pretty good. I'm going to take all the armor real quick and put it in the chest over on the side there. I'm going to dump the rest of this into the vault loot, I suppose. And there is the charm thing done. So now this shouldn't have a UI, I don't think, right? Yeah, it doesn't have a UI, but it's what's going to link us to the table here. So whatever we have in here, as long as this is in our inventory, it should be getting voided. And now we can start making the upgrades for it. So we need 3 more pogs for that. Can we craft those? We are short on whatever that thing is. So I am going to fortune down everything. This is all of the ore from our main system and our vault run system at the moment. So I don't have any more player gems in, or player ores in the system. So this is going to be everything. This is all that we have. I'm also going to do the opal and the echo gems just so we can see if we have all of the stuff that we need, or if I'm going to have to run another copious crystal here. I do have one crafted. I just don't have the runes and stuff to put on it. So let me place all this stuff down and fortunate and see what we end up with. I think we did fairly good on the fortuning there, so we should have a bunch of player gems again, hopefully enough to craft up the couple pogs that we can. We don't have the diamonds to go all in already, so we can at least do one more, right? Yep, okay, cool. I'm not going to craft all of them in one go here because I don't want to end up making more pogs than I actually need. So that's going to give us, that's going to give us at least one of these. Oh, we still need that. We need another pog for that as well. We can make a full stack, so at least that's the wall done if we want to do that. So that's cool. We should have the echoes and stuff in here already. We do not. Dang it. Let me craft this up. We have all the stuff. We do this one more time, and that's it. There we go. So now with this thing, we right-click onto the table, and now that's going to add 27 slots to it, and then we need to craft 3 more of those to make one of these, and then 3 more of those to make one of those. So it's going to be a process. I might have enough gems right now to do the next 3 of these to get 1 yellow, so let me try and craft that up real quick and see if I do. All right, cool. We have all of these stuff crafted. Let's make this yellow one, and there we go. This is going to up the amount to 162 in the table. So let's do that, and 162 it is. So I am going to very quickly go through all of our danks and our trash barrels and throw a bunch of stuff into the void slots here before we actually run any vaults. So let me get to that. Okay, so the filter is set up. We have a bunch of stuff from the barrels. I should have probably emptied out a couple danks because now we are full on inventory, but hopefully off of this run we have the diamonds because we have all of the pogs, we have all of the echo gems and stuff. We just need the diamonds now and we can finish off that table hopefully after this run. All right, so the modifiers are gilded, poisonous, treasure, trap, safe zone, daycare, slowed, horde, furious, and personal space, as well as this being a scavenger vault. which I'm not going to try and do because we do have Furious, and that's going to be 50% more damage coming our way. So I'd rather not have to deal with that. And hopefully we don't have too much stuff trailing behind us. I will try and stop and throw it into our bag as we get it. But here we go. We have a bunch of gilded in this room. We have save zone. We have personal space as well. So it's going to be a fairly nice run here. And already I'm noticing that we are getting enchanted books, and we shouldn't. Those were one of the main things that I put into the table. So maybe it's because of the filter, I suppose. Let me disable that and see if then it starts voiding them. So that run was very nice. I took out the other drive, so everything that goes into the system right now is going to be from that run alone. So let's plop that in there. We have a couple more that we need to put in there, and I'm going to drop all of my trash tanks off really quick here. I think by taking out the books from the filter here, it wasn't picking them up anymore. So I have 3 books, but the rest of the books that I saw, we were not actually picking up. So that's pretty good. We got 11 echo gems from that run. That's pretty good. So let's take a look and see how profitable that run was. We got 26 vault diamonds, I believe that should be enough diamonds to finish off this table, so that's actually great. I'm going to very quickly grab the mod boxes from the vault loot here, and then I'm also going to grab them from the main drive because we had like the other drive. The other drive is where they're at. Let me grab those as well because we have like 20 something right now, and we might be able to roll something that's actually useful from the stuff right now. Did I not have mod boxes? Am I completely forgetting about that? Where were they? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong drive. Genius, that's why it's doing that. Oops. Okay, so yeah, we have 29 in there. I had a couple of those rooms that pop up with the big like pixel shape thingies, and that's where I got most of the mod boxes from. I think I also got the Pandora's boxes from that as well here. But okay, so that's all I want out of that. That can go back into the barrel, so I'm not mixing up the actual runs. So let's see if we get anything from that. We got another mod box from the Pandora's box, and we got an idol from the Pandora's box, or those are boots actually, so those can go in there for right now. And we have 32 of the mystery boxes here, or the mod boxes. So let's open all of these. Maybe we can get lucky with the charm. That would be really cool. I don't think that's a possibility, but I don't really know, to be honest. So let's open those. We got lotus thingies. We have a couple more to open. Let's do that as well. We got another solar panel that I can see. That's cool. We got a netherite barrel. We got more power cables. That's actually useful because those are kind of pricey to craft, and I don't want to have to craft them at the moment. Let's see. We got another bin. We got another tank. We got 5 backpacks that are all tier 1. We got a netherite barrel. We got more plastic or rubber, so that's cool. A mana diamond, which I don't know if I'm going to craft anything else from Britannia, so that's probably not ever going to get used. We got another table, another solar panel, which is cool. We got 2 more danks. We also got a flux plug and a flux point, so 2 of those each, so that's nice. I can plug in a couple machines actually. Wirelessly, which is nice. We may end up doing that. We can actually even plug in our solar panels since we have 2 of those, and we now have 2 of the flux points to send power wirelessly, so we can use those to power some stuff as well, which is nice. And also real quick, for the people that are curious, I do have the Rod of the Bifrost with me now while I do vault runs, and the only reason for that is because it kind of comes in handy. Instead of having to pillar places, I can just do that and run up this thing, and then sometimes as well, you can use this to block the mobs, and if you do it a certain way, you sometimes get stuck in the blocks, and the mobs can't hit you. You don't get any damage, like suffocation damage and stuff. So every now and again, it is a nice little way of getting a breather from mobs, which I haven't had to use yet, but I do happen to get stuck in it from time to time. So hopefully I don't die to time, which is probably going to happen, but for the time being, it's fairly nice to have instead of having to pillar with our blocks over and over again. But anyways, with those diamonds, we now have enough to make the last little bits of this. So I should have everything crafted for that. We do indeed. So there is the 9 of those that we need. We're then going to need to use those to craft up 3 of the yellows, which we actually don't have those crafted, do we? We have the resources for it, so let me get those together. We need 3 more echo pogs, which we have, so let me just do that. All right, there's the 3 echo pogs. Let's dump that into the system. Let's craft up the 3 of the yellow filters or charms that we have, and then we are a little shy on black opals still. So we can't craft that Omega Pog, which is going to be the only holdup right now. Let me dump the other drive back in. And did I have any opals from that run? We had 27 raw opals and 1 opal ore. So that puts us at, let's see, that's going to put us at 240 just about. And I can fortune this. I don't think I'm going to roll anything too fantastic on it, though. We would have to roll like 12, and even then we still would be too short. Yeah, it's got a 0 on that, so unfortunate. So hopefully on the next run we get the opals that we need. We only need about 80, so if we can get some ore and we can get a couple loose opals as well, we can hopefully get it on the next run. I would love to get it done so that I can start making some farms, because I haven't even placed this thing down yet, and I really need to set some farms up because we are rolling just farm items right now on the altar, and it's really annoying me. So I'm gonna get my stuff ready to go for another vault run here, and hopefully we get the opals to get this thing up and running. So a couple things that I forgot to mention at the start of today's episode was that first crystal that we ran was a modified crystal with catalyst. It wasn't just a random afterlife crystal, so that's why we had treasure, hoard, and gilded on it. The next crystal we are going to run, though, is a copious, rich, plentiful. It also has all 3 of the time modifiers on it, and it has 2 crystal caves on it as well. So hopefully we get lucky with the room spawns, since we have an extra 17.5 minutes on top of the normal time. And I also forgot to mention that we built out the Richity set during stream. So now we have 6 relic sets done. We need 3 more to go. We need the Element one, the T-Wolf one, and the Twitch emote one. And there's actually one thing I want to try real quick before we jump on into this vault. I don't know if it's actually going to work. We might have to do it through here because we have wool in the system. There we go. So this is going to be an invisibility cloak. I don't know if it's going to hide our armor. If it doesn't, then I can try something else here, but let's put this stuff on, and then we can drop that into there. Okay, so we are invisible, but our armor is not. So let's take that off and take all of this out. We can craft, is it called Phantom Ink, I believe? It is indeed, and it gives us 4 bottles of that, and then I guess we just go to an anvil and put it on there. We might have to make another batch for the idol. Can we put it on the idol? We can't put it on the idol. I don't think it's something we can do because it's not letting me put it on there at all. So maybe we can't do that, but we can wear that, and it makes us invisible. I don't want to run around with no armor on, though, because that seems like a really horrible idea. Well, I missed that important piece of information. Phantom Ink only works on armor sets that use mana, so we can't actually put this on any of our gear because all of the mana armor is disabled in this pack. So we can at least wear this. I really don't think it's going to make a difference unless we just run around completely armorless, right? We are hidden. It is using mana to do this. I just don't know if it's going to be worth it because we're going to probably be one-shotted if something does hit us. Okay, well, let's jump on into this vault. Hopefully we get the opals that we need. We are very close to getting that Omega Pog up and running, so let's dump that in there. I'm also going to rock the invisibility thing just for this run. I don't think it's going to do anything, but if it does, cool. If not, it is what it is. I'll take it off after this run. And right off the bat here, we did get a fish tank room, so that's great for us. We got some ore already rolling in. I think I've already cleared it out. We also have personal space and silence, so the mob counts should be at minimum right now. So it should be a very nice, chill run. And the mobs indeed still see me with the armor on, so they might not see me if I take it off, but again, I don't want to do that. That seems like a horrible idea. Alrighty, so after that run, this is all the ore that we gathered up there. So we had 1 fish tank room, we had 4 of the crystal cave rooms, we had 2 of the end rooms, and a whole bunch of the plant pot thingies and the geodes. So that's where all this ore came from. It wasn't super great, but it was decent nonetheless here. We got 44 of the opal. We are going to fortune that right now and see if we have the opal for the thing. We also got 6 more echo gems. We got a bit more of the player gems in total. We have a whole lot of Larimar and Beniatite, Alexandrite, the Pianite stuff. So yeah, the more common things we got a whole lot of. We got a little bit of the player gems nonetheless. And yes, I think that's enough. We have 154 on top of the 239. That is more than enough to complete this thing. So let me change back to the main drive, put this stuff back in there, and let me actually take out a little bit so I don't make more of the perfect ones than I need. And then we should be good. Yeah, that's exactly what we need in there. Let me dump those over there, and let me craft up the Omega Pog. All right, well, there is the Omega Pog. Let's dump that into the system because we need that to be able to craft up the final charm here. So let's do that, and there we go. We have the final Tier 3 charm that is going to allow us to void 1,026 items. So I am going to empty out a couple danks so that we have some inventory slots, and then whatever we have left, I'm going to start pulling from the trash barrels and stuff. so that we can start voiding everything that we're coming across. So I'm going to get to that real quick before we run the next one here. Actually, no, we're not going to run another one because I want to set up some farms, actually. So let me get on the void list real quick. Well, I've gone through and emptied out all of our danks as well as the trash barrels that we had piling up for all the stuff that wasn't going into danks. And currently, we're sitting at 813 out of 1,026 items. So that's pretty cool. We still have a little bit of wiggle room to add more trash to it as we get more out of the vaults. Undoubtedly, we are going to get more, so as we get it, I'll just dump it into the table. But moving forward here, I'm only going to have these 5 danks, maybe one more to have 6 of them on us, because what I want to do is take the items from the backpacks here and put them into danks. So these 2 items, the key pieces and the echo gems, are going to go into a dank, as well as all of the vault ore, so that we don't have to go into our backpack over and over again, and we could just pop it into the dank dock and empty it out instantly, get everything ready to go, and run into another vault. Because the downtime right now isn't too bad, but still having to go into the backpacks over and over again to empty everything out is a little time consuming. Not very time consuming, but it'll still speed up the whole process here. But that'll be something that I end up doing in between episodes here. So right now, let's take a look at all of the vault loot that we gathered up. So this is from the streams as well as the 2 vault runs that we did today. So all in all, we gathered up 255 catalyst fragments. I'm going to make a bunch of catalysts again, and hopefully we can get some good crystals put together. We got 11 echo gems as well as 6 echo ores. We have enough statues to make another omega one, or a couple omega ones actually, if we use the yellow ones and those ones again as well. So I'll do that here in a second. Let's take the relic boosters. We didn't get very many of those, unfortunately, but hopefully we get lucky with a relic. That would be nice. I'm going to take all of these guys and see if they have anything nice. All right, well, none of them sell anything too great. One of them sells a dank 2, and then a couple of them sell some catalyst stuff, but that's not really what we want right now. I'll buy the catalyst stuff from them though, but I was looking for some diamonds actually. And of course, out of all of those, we got nothing but duplicates yet again. All right, well, let's roll all the armor here. We got a lot more yellow than we did the other stuff, but we do have all tier 2 scrappy plus. There's a few of the tier 2 common pluses, and the rare stuff and the epic plus stuff is all just tier 1 right now. It could roll tier 2s, so hopefully it does, and let me get cracking on it so that we can see if we got anything worthwhile. So out of all the armor, we only have a few pieces to take a look at here. We have 1 tier 2 idol with a +1 saturation and 4 levels. If we can roll the other immunity things on this idol, that would be a really good idol, I believe. And then we also have these idols here. This one has 5 levels to it with a little bit more attack speed and damage, which is going to be nice as well. We also have this one with another 5 upgrades and a 10% cooldown reduction, so that's nice. Over on this side, it's not stuff that we're actually going to use. It's just omegas. Like the helmet, I think, is worse than the one we wear now. This one is worse than the one we wear. This one's worse, and this one's worse. It's just that they're omegas, so I set them aside. There's not really anything special about those. But as far as weapons go, this does 15.4 worth of damage as an axe, and it has 4 levels, so that could potentially be more damage than the one we have right now. But this sword is what we are probably going to shift on over to using. It has 5 upgrades to it, 1.1 attack damage boost, so it's doing 13.3 attack damage, and with sharpness 5 on it, it gets it up to 16.3, so it's doing 2 damage less than our axe is right now. And let's see if we put the Wu-Tax on there, if we get any more damage boost. I would love if this did more damage than our current axe does, but let's see. We're going to do 17.3, so it's only 0.7 less damage than our axe. So that's pretty nice. The Fatal Strike thing doesn't work. The Soulbound thing kind of stinks. That's a wasted slot there, but we have a sword that we can use now. We are going to lose a little bit of damage, but I think the Sweeping Edge is going to be beneficial moving forward, especially since we can't put that on the axe right now, or ever, I don't think. There's a thing called Chaining, but that's like 250 or 300 or something when we unlock that ability, so that's not going to be quite for some time. We were able to put together 3 Omega statues. Let's see what we roll. We got glass, and that's pretty much it. We have one making soul sand already. We can have one making glass. That's fine. I kind of like that. The next one, let's see. We already have one making obsidian. We have one making andesite. And it's really between those two, isn't it? Let's do obsidian, I guess. And last up here, let's see. We got andesite again, another dark oak, iron, white alabaster, concrete. Wow. Okay, I'm going to do the... I'll do the andesite. The wood, we can farm up. The andesite, not so much. And now that we're done going through all of the vault loot, let's start making some of the machines we need in order to get some farms up and running. So last episode, we got the plant gatherer and the plant sower. This is what we're going to use to automate the crops and the trees. But right now, I'm not going to do that. That's probably going to happen on stream. What we're going to set up right now is a animal farm. So we're going to need one of these, the animal baby separators. This is going to allow me to have the adults getting bred and then the babies getting grown up and then slaughtered. So I'm going to craft a few of these because these go in every recipe so far. So let me just set those aside. All right, everything should be in the system now. So we need one of those, I think, for right now. We are going to set up multiples of these. So I want one for cows and pigs and chickens, and then we'll let that run for a little bit unless I can have all of them in one thing together, which I don't think would work because the cows and the pigs don't eat wheat. The cows eat wheat, but the pigs eat carrots, so I don't think I can have a feeder feeding both of those. Maybe I can. I don't know. We'll see. Next up here, we're going to need a mob slaughter factory, which we don't have the swords in there. We don't have sticks in our system either. I need to craft those things now. I'm going to go through the recipes real quick and craft up what I need so I can just make the things here in one go and not have to keep running around my base. Now everything should be in the system. So we're going to need the mob slaughter factory, one of those, and then one of the animal feeders. So let's get that put together. And another thing that I actually want to craft is this thing here. We can't fill it up just yet, but we're going to be able to take that and put it in our head slot so we don't actually have to take food with us anymore, which would be amazing. So we take that, we plop it there, and then it's going to auto feed us our food as we start losing hunger bars. And then in order for this thing to work, we actually have to put it into the mob slaughter factory, I believe, or have the mob slaughter stuff pumping out of that into a tank or something that we can interact with, because it's going to be producing liquid meat, and that's what goes into this thing, I do believe. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what goes into that. So that's how we're going to be feeding ourselves now. And the last thing that we're going to be building is this right here. This is going to allow us to send power and items back and forth through dimensions as well as through the area here and act as a chunk loader. So that kind of helps us a little bit because I really don't want to have to build that stuff right here in our base. So with one of these, I'm going to put it right here in base, and then I'm going to set up a network because we need to do that again. Can I not set it from one of my already things? I cannot. Okay, so main power and everything else, I guess we can just set it as main. And with this one, we are going to be sending power. We're also going to be receiving the items from the farm area. So for right now, we're going to have it inputting power from the right, and then I'll set up the rest of the stuff when we need to. But right now, we're only going to be dealing with power for the time being. I think my game just crashed. And we're back. Never mind, we're good. Okay, so that's our main power source. And then what I'm going to do is fly out in this direction where we had our little bee farm last time. We have our Gaia Guardian fight thing over there. This whole area is just a plains biome, so I'm going to level out a little bit of the area and just have the farms over in this area so that it's not running constantly. I'm not going to chunk load it. The only thing that's going to be chunk loading somewhat is this thing because it has a chunk loader built into it, but I'm not going to put chunk loaders all throughout the farms to get everything running constantly. I made a couple of these things already, so I have some cows and chickens and pigs so that we can have them getting farmed up here. And you know what? I also forgot about the other thing so that we can make the range upgrades. I totally forgot about that, but that's going to have to go downstairs where we have our latex thing because it needs latex for some of those recipes, so we might as well just put it here and not where our farms are. And for the animal farms and the crop farms, I'm just going to go as massive as I can. So we're going to make these ones here. So they need a full bucket of latex, a few emeralds, some glass panes, and some redstone to make those. So I'm going to need about 3 or 4 of those to get everything up and running. I'm not going to do that for the tree farm though, because I'm pretty sure this will just work. So we'll have this one and this one planting tree saplings, or maybe we would actually throw... I don't know what I want to throw. Actually, yeah, you know what? Let's do overkill. Let's do one of those on the tree farm as well. That way we can have all of the tree types being planted and getting devoured by this thing, basically. So we'll do one of those as well. We're going to need it for this thing and this thing, so that's 2. And then maybe for this as well. I'm not sure. Does this need one? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we're going to need at least a couple here. All right, there's our first one of those. That's going to take a little while to go because that latex thing is really, really slow, but we are going to go jump over here and start building out some of these farms. I actually kind of want to check and make sure this actually works. So we don't have a modifier in there and we don't have power going to it. So let's do this and then set it to output power from this one. So let's see, power, we are getting power. Let's have it output power. Okay, and it's cutting down the tree. And it doesn't look like it's having any hiccups with it. And there we go. Nice. Okay, so it does cut down trees. It produces sludge, which is probably not great. So we'll have to deal with that later. There is a sludge boiler that turns it into something else, or a sludge refiner that turns it into, I think, gravel or just a random block in general. So that's something we'll deal with later on, though. I also bought 2 mega torches and put them out here. So we have that first one there, and then we have this one here. 32 blocks apart, I believe, is the distance that they can be apart, right? It's 32 radius or 64 radius or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but we have these things down to keep mobs from spawning. Hopefully it keeps the Endermen out of here as well. I don't need them putting blocks down and having the cows and stuff climbing the fence when we get this stuff up and running here. All right, so I don't have the entire area flattened out and ready to go. That's something that I'll probably do during a stream because that's going to take a little while to do, and I don't have time to do it today, unfortunately. So I think what we're going to do is set up a little bit of a breeding area here. So I want the animal separator one somewhere like here. And let's see if I got that right. So let's throw that in there. No, we need to back up. Oh, we got it right, at least on the side here. We need to back it up, though, like 5 blocks. So this is going to be pulling the babies and putting them on this side. So I don't know how big this one needs to be. I don't think it has to be that same exact size. Even that might be really, really overkill for what we need at the moment. I'll kind of leave it because those extensions are very cheap to craft, unless it's very heavy on power, in which case then, yeah, that's going to be a bit of an issue. But for right now, we'll leave that be. Let me take this thing out so we can use it to see the shape of the other one. So the slaughter factory is going to go here because that's where the babies are going to be coming. And then, let's see, it has a 3 tall area. Do we just want to give this one a little extension then and not a full-on 15? Because a 15 would be massive, and I don't think we actually need that. So what if we have that area of 15 for breeding a bunch of stuff, and then we make this one like a 3x3 or a 3x5 or something? Yeah, we can try and throw one of the smaller ones in there. We'll probably do like a tier 5 one or a tier 4 one so that we have like a little 5x5 thing of space for this thing to work so that we don't have the cows and stuff cramming right here and dying. So we'll make it a little bit big and not a 1x1 or a 15x15. So that's fine for right now. And then we need an animal feeder, which, can we just stack this on top of the other one? We might be able to just stack it on the other one, but then we have to feed this power and the food. So actually, let's not stack it on top of that one. Let's put it over here on the side. And this one should be the same size as the other one. It's right against the border and right against the border as well. Sweet. Okay. So this should be feeding everything, and then that should be yanking everything. We'll actually need 3 of these if we don't want to separate the farms out. So we can have one here doing wheat, we can have one on that side doing the carrots, and then we can have one on that side doing the seeds for the chickens, and then we can have everything growing in this field and getting yanked out and killed by this thing over here. Although I don't know if it matters which type of meat is going into the slaughter factory, because I need the meat being produced. I don't really care. Yeah, we only have 2 things, and I believe the pink slime is its own thing completely. Like, we get that from killing pink slimes, I believe. It's been a minute since I messed with this mod, but we don't get that, I don't think, from killing normal mobs. Or maybe we do. I'm not even sure anymore. But okay, so we're going to need 2 more of these animal feeders, and then we're also going to need 3 more of the range upgrades, 1 of the smaller range upgrades for this thing, and we can try and see this thing in action here in just a minute. So let me disable all this stuff. I should have maybe a bucket or 2 of latex already crafted. It's been running for about an hour or so since the last time we were there. All right, so this is a little temporary for right now. I'm not going to leave the fence posts there, but all of the upgrades are in the machines right now. So all of them have the same radius of the field. So we should be good. I put the 5x5 or the tier 5 upgrade into this one. It's a little too big, but I can't be bothered to craft up the smaller ones because we need to wait for the latex, and the latex is just taking way too long here. And one of the main things that I kind of forgot about was having to run power to each and every one of these machines as well as their items. So that's going to be fun. That's something I'm not going to do right now. That's a later me problem. But we're going to be using this thing to transport power between the entire farm area here. We're going to have a whole bunch of stuff down. We're just doing this for right now. And then we're going to have to pipe everything back to this as well so that we can get it in our main base. So for right now, I'm going to just jump behind each of these machines and power them all up. So there should be about 10 of each animal in the pen right now. So I'm going to re-enable this thing so it starts yanking the babies out again. I'm going to wire up the whole thing off camera or probably during a stream. I haven't decided on what I'm going to do just yet. We'll probably do it during a stream because I want to build out the farm area as well. I need to put a tree thingy in. We're going to have some of the crops getting harvested as well. So yeah, it's going to be quite a little while to get all this stuff up and running, but as long as this thing's running now, it's going to be pretty darn good. So I'm going to leave this thing running. It's not chunk loaded right now. I don't think it even matters if it is. I think the animals need us nearby for them to actually do their thing. But I'm going to jump on back to the base. Actually, wrong place. This place is where I wanted to go. And in the box here, we have 3 of the regret flasks. We need 1 more of them to unlearn Twerker completely. So I'm going to craft one of those together here in a second. But we have 6 points right now. And with those 6 points, I want to actually buy another level of strength. So that's that. We're up to level 4. We can only go up 2 more times until we hit 140. So what I'm going to be doing from here on out, for a little while at least, is taking all of the opal that we get, as well as the vault diamonds, and making those skill orb things that we made from the treasure run. These guys here. Because it's going to be 20 opals and 9 diamonds to make one of those, and then we need the shards, which we have a ton of that stuff on hand right now. And with that, we're hopefully going to get a bunch of XP levels, and then we may end up changing the level thing again and start climbing again as well. But let me make the last flask that I need so I can unlearn the last level of Twerker, which really doesn't matter at the moment, but we can get that done and over with and off of our to-do list here, and then we'll have 2 points to spend, which I am going to just hold on to because I want to do the strength thing more than anything else at the moment. All right, there's the last one of those. Let me get that point back, and we're back up to 2 nonetheless there. But anyways, with that done, we are going to be wrapping up today's episode there, so I hope you enjoyed as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.